May the 4th be with you! But sadly, we're not talking about a Star Wars video game today. Sorry, everybody. Nope! Today we're talking about Oneiro, a unique roguelike dungeon crawler sent to me by its developer, who somehow managed to find my channel through my video on Devil's Spire. So thanks for reaching out again, Ryan. I really do appreciate it. For all you at home, this one is pretty special. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So as I mentioned prior, the developer reached out to me to cover this title a little while back, and now that I'm finally getting around to making it, I wanted to be sure I tried to go over as much of it as I possibly could. You see, Oneiro actually holds a very interesting story, both as a game and with the written narrative it tells. According to my research, and by research I mean doing a lot of searching through Ryan's Twitter and through the updates he's posted via his Steam page. Sorry, Ryan. I found out this game started out as a school project before the developer fleshed it out more and more, only to eventually put it up for sale on Steam and itch.io. Which is very interesting to me, because clearly this game means a lot to the developer, who obviously spent a lot of time on it to make it the best possible game it can be. Not to mention the very interesting concept about battling the brutal manifestations of your darkest fears inside of a very interesting mental labyrinth that takes place on an island in the middle of nowhere. This game is also full of crazy, wacky moments where you can interact with all of the different individuals on the island itself and get to know each and every individual one of them more and more as you progress through the game. It's pretty unique and very cool. Personally, I love Francis. He's probably the first person you see and interact with before learning how the game world works. He's very welcoming of you, and the more you talk to him, he seems to share more and more about himself, and even eventually starts giving the player tips and tricks from time to time in hopes of helping them on their way. And let me be frank here, this game does not mess around. It is extraordinarily difficult, and the learning curve, especially for newcomers to the genre entirely, is extraordinarily steep. But as you gradually improve and play more and more of the game, you can quickly get much better than you were your first or second run through. It's kind of a give and take situation. The island is kind of like the checkpoints that exist in the game Catherine, a video game developed by Atlas where all men who cheat have to fight for their lives in a hellish nightmare environment every single time they sleep, or else they die in real life. Oneiro, however, takes that concept to a whole new realm with its roguelite dungeon crawling experience. Another thing I absolutely love is that the game has an interesting way for you to track your progress. If you go into your bedroom and look at the nightstand, you can see how far you've progressed and even view your best scores and milestones. Not only that, but in the dungeons themselves, the game has a very unique mechanic that allows you to duplicate items using a tool called the duplication gear, which will essentially let players make copies of anything they want, so long as they have it in their inventory. I mainly found myself using it for health potions because I'm not very good at the game still, especially on the first boss of the game, called Terror. It's a blob with multiple eyeballs stuck around it that packs quite a punch. Hell, I haven't even made it past the damn thing myself yet, but I'm certain with enough practice I'll get there eventually. But it's the variety of enemy types and the destructible environments around them that allow player freedom to skyrocket so high you could actually play many maneuvers off as strategy. The game's labyrinths are also extremely delicate, so one broken wall in the wrong place can send the whole thing crumbling down, sending you into the void to, die. Also, remember how I was talking about difficulty before? Well, I wasn't joking. Oneiro is a difficult title that takes lots of time to master and even more time to perfect. And while it may not be one of the most graphically impressive gaming marvels of our time, it certainly knows how to keep the player invested, not to mention giving those players a massive arsenal of equipment, from weapons, armor, spells, and even a shop to buy more useful tools for the hellish journey ahead. The main gripe I have with the game as a whole is that with a learning curve as steep as Oneiro's, it can be challenging to appreciate all the finer details the developer has added into the title, and the deep lore surrounding its dark and dreary universe. But now, let's get to the verdict. Oneiro is a tough yet charming roguelite RPG with a deep and twisted narrative that takes players on quite the mental journey. I personally love the themes, characters, and ideas showcased in the title and look forward to jumping back in soon. The only gripe that I happen to have with the game is the idea that the game's learning curve is very steep and might seem a little too intimidating to newer players to the dungeon crawler genre. But all in all, Oneiro knows how to create tense situations, show its players how to be resourceful, and provide an open door for a wide variety of playstyles. Which is why I'm giving Oneiro a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's an amazing title, and you'd be crazy not to try it out for yourself. especially if you're into these types of games like I am. And while it may be difficult, there's no challenge you can't overcome with practice. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please remember to like and comment down below what your favorite part of this video was. If you're going to pick up the game, it's actually relatively cheap. I've linked down in the description below a link to the itch.io page and the Steam store page where you can go and pick it up for a couple bucks right now, because at the time of filming it is on sale. I believe it's 60% off, so go pick it up as fast as you can. It's a really good game. And big shout out to Ryan, the developer of the game itself. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I had a blast playing your game, and I can't wait to see all of the crazy updates you're going to release for it. I think it's an absolutely amazing title, and I think that even for a game that used to be a school project, you're doing great work, man. And hey, if you're an indie developer out there who's looking to share his or her game with the world, send me an email. It's linked in my About page. But without further ado, folks, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, TyGamer, and I'll see you guys in another couple weeks for another Let's Talk Gaming video. Bye, everybody.